Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in beautiful Boise, Idaho. My name is Becky Borczon, and I'm this week's featured vocalist. Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything be wrong? A good day from morning till night. And it's a good day for shining your shoes, and it's a good day for losing your blues. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. A good day from morning till night. I said to the sun, good morning, sun. Rise and shine today. You know you gotta get going if you wanna make a showing, and you got the right of way. So it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for losing your ills. So take a deep breath and throw away those pills. A good day from morning till night. Rex Miller on the keyboard. McClurg on the bass. Phil Bowden. I said to the sun, good morning, sun. Rise and shine today. You know you gotta get going. Gonna make a showing, and you got the right of way. 'Cause it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for losing your ills. So take a deep breath and throw away those pills. A good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day from morning till night, and that's the truth. It's a good day from morning till night. Yes, it is. It's a good day from morning till night. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a good day from morning to night. Turn to somebody right now and tell them what a good day you're having right now. Woo, it's a good day. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jackie Holland. I am the senior minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living, and it is my honor to welcome you this morning here on this glorious day, this glorious, amazing day in Boise, Idaho. You know, I tell y'all every week that my friends in Los Angeles have to have a weather report. Yes, it's cold. It's about 80 degrees down there right now, I think. But we welcome you. For those of you who are at home watching us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, how good it is to have you join us this morning. And whatever time you join us, we want you to know what a glorious energy that you bring to the Center for Spiritual Living. If you're watching this later, hello. Nice to have you join us. Please share this if you want your friends to know about this life-affirming philosophy and what you believe in your life. And I tell you, it is a great day. This morning we are supported by so many magnificent people. You have already heard the tones of the beautiful, the magnificent Miss Becky B. Yeah. Becky can tell you all the places that she's performing in town, but if you want to really know where she is, just go to her Facebook page, right? You have it updated? Oh, your website. How do they know where you are? Oh, you're just like a secret. Show up and be surprised. Yeah, right. If you're supposed to be there, you'll be there, she said, for those of you at home. And, it's like, I just want to say, we could talk about marketing 101 after church, okay? It is not the best way. But you do have a website, yeah? She has nothing. Here it is. Call me. I'll tell you where she is. Becky performs all over town. She's involved in so many different amazing things. And as you've already heard, a remarkable, amazing musician. And so we're so glad to welcome her this morning. Of course, as usual, supported, led, directed, herded, I want to say, by our musical director, Mr. Rex Miller. And of course, holding the low tones for us on that beautiful guitar, we have Mr. Ted McClurg on bass and Phil Bowden keeping the heartbeat of the church on drums. Thank you so much. The best music on Sunday morning, I say, in Boise, Idaho, and so we are glad to have you with us this morning. Our videographer, of course, is Miss Jenna Nash on the cameras this morning. On sound, we have Rob Compton. With our children, we have Pamela Brechtel. Our cosmic cleaning crew was Miss J.J. Seuss, getting J.J. Bullock, getting Seuss, that's Janine up there, getting everything ready for you this week. Our greeters are Harold and Janine, and our cookies. Don't forget cookies, because where you have religious scientists, you will have cookies. I'm just saying. Cookies this morning were brought to us by J.J. Bullock and Margie Strong. And so thank you so much to all of you who are with us and all of our volunteers. And you know, every week I say thank you to the volunteers, and if I left your name off, please forgive me. We see your work, we know you, and we appreciate you so much. So welcome. Let's just take a moment now and let the busyness of this church day just fade away. The busyness of the activity of getting here, getting dressed, trying to figure out what shoes and earrings to wear. I mean, it's a job. It's a job. So we take a minute to remember why we come here every week. For community, for heart, for love, for the sense of well-being. So just for this moment, this sacred, holy moment, I'd like you just to turn off anything in the outer world. Just turn it off and allow yourself to float on the music and the energy of love. To open your heart chakra. Open it wide. You have so much love to give and so much to receive. So breathe it in. For those of you on the other side of the lens, breathe it in right where you are. If you're by yourself, recognize that 1 plus God is a majority. And breathe in the love that is being sent to you by Spirit itself. For those of us in the sanctuary, breathe in the love from those around you. Take it in, and as you release it back into the world, it is multiplied. Feel your love going into those dark places around our world today. The flooding in Africa, the wars in Ukraine. Feel your love infusing the hearts of those who may be in fear. Longing for better. And sense and know your love reaching those filled with joy and happiness, and they are boosting your love, magnifying it, multiplying it. And now feel that love coming back to you right now. Breathe it in. infused with the love of so much love out there on planet Earth. Take a breath. Take another deep cleansing breath. And prepare your heart, your mind, your spirit for the words being spoken by our practitioner of the day, Miss Donna Sheedy. Take another breath, and when you are ready, come back.
It is our honor to introduce Kathy McLean, who will light the world religions candles from the Christ candle. In religious science, we perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from one great universal presence, which we call spirit. In lighting these candles, we honor the one family of humanity, made up of over 4,000 religions and spiritual traditions throughout the world. We light the first candle for Judaism, which teaches there is only one God, and that religion isn't one aspect of life, it is life. We light the second candle for Christianity, where letting go and letting God is grace and humility personified. Christianity accepts that there is one liberating and beautiful experience. We light the third candle in honor of Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Buddhism, the religion of those seeking to be awakened, and honors the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The fifth and final candle honors New Thought, encompassing metaphysics which transcends the physical and seeks a clear understanding of the realm of ideas and their legitimate expressions. So let us quiet our minds and open our hearts to the spiritual message being sung by Becky Borczon.
In beauty may I walk all day. Through the seasons, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. On this path, may I walk through my life. May I walk in old age. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, may I walk, may I walk, may I walk, may I gratitude, may I walk in peace. In stillness, may I walk in forgiveness. May I walk in loving kindness. May I walk, may I walk.
So let us pray as we are in this sacred space that has been so beautifully created by Becky and the musicians. This is the space where we recognize that powerful presence of God, the one mind, the knower of all things and creator of all things seen and unseen, the love, the peace, the joy, the happiness. And this God is right here where I am, surrounding me, comes through me, in me, and as me. And I know this same divine truth for each person listening to my voice right here, right now, as you are all perfect expressions of God, with God coming through you, in you, and as you. We are connected to one another, and we are connected to that one divine. So it's from this place of oneness that I bless all of the hands and hearts that have come together to make this service perfect and whole. And I say a blessing for our beloved Reverend Jackie as she comes forth, setting aside her humanness, opening up her heart and her mind, connecting to the divine, allowing that message of the divine to be shared through her exactly like it is to be. And I say a blessing for all the hearts and ears that are listening to this message coming through Reverend Jackie, that they are taking it in exactly as they are to hear it through their ears and their heart. So I bless this service, calling it good and oh so very good. So let us pray. Namaste. Om. Shanti, Ashe, Aho, Amen, and so it is. And now for Becky Borczon.
Open mine eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Open mine eyes, illumine me. Spirit divine, love of my life, I am crying, I am not dying, I am dancing along in the madness. There is no sadness, only a song of the soul, and we'll sing this song. Why don't you sing along, and we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along, and we can sing for a long, long time.
have some amazing and magnificent singers that come to this church, but I've got to say, for a spirit uplift, for an infusion of joy, for a shot of optimism, we go with Becky B, don't we? So for the last 6 weeks or so, in my mailbox, I have received 4 or 5, maybe more, envelopes that say, you have been pre-approved for credit. Have y'all started getting those? You see, for a long time, many years ago, we would get them all the time. Credit card offers would come in all the time, and then it sort of stopped for many years. But guess what? It's back. Of course, when you can charge 29.5% interest rate, you got to know they want to get the suckers in the world out there. No, not the suckers in the world, but please beware. Really, do read the fine print on those things. But anyway, as I was looking at that, these envelopes, which I just kind of tear up and throw away, just in case somebody wants to use my credit to get a credit card at 29%, don't do it. Don't do it, please. I thought, what is this message that I keep getting? You are pre-approved. You are pre-approved. In red and exclamation points. I'm pre-approved. For what? And I keep thinking, is this a message to me? Yeah, it's got to be a message to me, because I got to tell you guys, I struggle with trying to prove myself, because I so desperately, like many people, want other people's approval. So I desperately struggle with this issue of being accepted. And when I'm not accepted, then, it breaks my heart and I get all upset. It's that feeling, that many of us have, of not being good enough just the way we are. Don't you love the friends that you have, that their very facade says, love me the way I am, or to heck with you? I love that. Yes, we got one in the front row right here, and we love her. And let me tell you this, I wish I could be that way. But my entire life, which I could play the victim role here for a moment and say, well, anybody growing up in an alcoholic environment, of course, is going to have self-esteem problems, blah, 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 blah. Enough, okay? Okay, enough. You've been living longer alone without the alcoholic parent than you did with them, so you can get over it now. I keep telling myself, and yet the struggle is very real. The struggle for self-approval, for self-acceptance is very, very real. I know this because I have it, and I also know it because that accounts for over 50% of the counseling that I do as your minister. How can I feel like I'm okay? How can I approve? Well, just open your mail. You're pre-approved. Just check your mailbox. Oh, the shame that I feel when I'm not good enough. I feel shameful, and even worse than that, with all of my skills and my knowledge, I still can't sometimes summon up the ability to make it happen, no matter what the it is. And then the cycle continues. I'm not good enough. I don't approve of myself. You know how this story goes when it starts spinning. Many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You come to me for the same experiences that I'm having. And so I, like so many people, move to perfectionism in order to prove that I'm enough. If I can just be perfect enough, if I can just do it right every single time, then I'm approved. People will like me. And I'll tell you, some of you know the longest move in history, of course, is my move. Only 10 miles from one house to the other. It's still taken almost a year. But the bottom line to this move is that every one of my perfectionist tendencies has come out like crazy. Every box has to be just the right size for the similar items. And it all has to have a label on the side listing what's in that box. Not the books. That would be insane. But everything else, oh yes. Like I think, what, you're not going to open it for 10 years? It's 10 miles away, Jackie. Someone's calling. Is this about pre-approval? I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. And so I think somewhere in my life, I got this idea that perfectionism was about approval. That if I could be perfect enough, people could approve of me. My dad could approve of me if I could just be perfect enough. But we know, as Brene Brown has told us, she says this, perfectionism is not about approval. It is a defense move. It is a defensive move. It's the belief that if we do things perfectly and look perfect, we can minimize or avoid the pain of blame, judgment, and shame. Listen to what she's saying. It's not about getting approval. It's about avoidance of your own pain, of your shame, of your guilt, perhaps. Perfectionism, she goes on to say, is a 20-ton shield that we lug around thinking it will protect us, when in fact it's the thing that is really preventing us from being seen. You know some people who are perfectionists, and I know many times I ask myself, who is that person under that perfectionism mask? In fact, the most perfect people that we know are the ones we want to mess up. We just wait for them to trip and fall. That's not being mean. That's saying, I want to know who you are. I want to know you. Yes, with all your perfectionist tendencies. Now, do you think somebody's trying to tell me something important here? I'm sorry, but this has never happened in church before, but let's just see. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, no. Love you too. Okay. So the idea that I am pre-approved gives me some comfort. I don't know that I believe it, but it gives me some comfort. Have you ever stopped to think that the only difference between being dead and alive is breath? Think about that for a second. 1 minute you're breathing, 1 minute you're not. Doesn't that fact make you pause? Because here's the deal. If you're still breathing, you're pre-approved. If you're breathing, you're approved. If you're breathing, you've made it through the past. You don't have to hold on to the stories, the failures, the wish I had of, wish I could have, why didn't I's that we have done and stayed stuck at in our lives. We can let all of that go. If you're breathing, you can let it go. Are you breathing? Anybody in here not breathing? You and I woke up this morning, and by the very fact that we are breathing tells us that life, that God, that Spirit, known by whatever name you want to call it, is on your side. It's on your side. Spirit is on your side because you woke up this morning and you were breathing. Life works for us. Only our mind works against us. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about this morning. Our mind works against us. So when you wake up tomorrow morning and you take your first conscious breath, remember you've had a lot of unconscious breaths the 8 hours before. Trust me, you have. Or you've woken yourself up snoring. When you wake up tomorrow morning with your first conscious breath, say thank you and acknowledge that you've been pre-approved to live another day. Another day of love and giving and life and changes. Another day of risking and creating. Another day of God's life through you. So when you wake up tomorrow and you take that first breath, say, thank you, thank you. I am pre-approved to do what is mine to do today. I don't know what is yours to do. I don't. But I do know this. You have been pre-approved to live your life the way you want to. Because by God, haven't we lived life long enough on other people's terms, other people's ideas of how we should be and who we should be and what we should be? See, in religious science, we teach that we believe that we were not born in original sin, but rather in original innocence, in original ability to grow and to change and to be. We teach that we have unconditional acceptance by the Spirit of life that created us in its image and likeness, and called us good and very good. We are pre-approved because think about this. For those of you who follow the Christian Bible, when it says, and after Spirit did all of its work in such a short amount of time, how? When it's taken me so long to pack. But when God created this earth, what was the first thing that she did? She said, "It is good and very, very good." And that included you and me and some of those people that we don't like, some of those people we desperately dislike. Even they are pre-approved to live their journey their way. So I was thinking about those envelopes, and I actually opened one. I certainly don't need any more, but I opened one thinking about this talk, and that's how I knew they can charge $29.5 or $7.5. I don't know what that means really, but just pay off your credit cards, okay? So I was thinking about the terms and the conditions. So I've been pre-approved, but in order to receive this credit, I have to agree to some terms, some conditions, right? Terms and conditions. Very important, written in such small letters that you have to get a microscope out or magnifying glass out and look at it, because they don't want you reading this stuff, you know that. But I was thinking, what would it be if we were to say, your life is pre-approved, but what are the terms and conditions that you must live by in order to be pre-approved? So, here we go. First of all, I want you to recognize that you received it. It's already here. It's already yours. We're pre-approved. God's love is eternal and is always available to us. But if we don't accept it, if we don't open the thing that it comes in, like i.e. the envelope, if we don't receive it, if we're not receptive to it, then we cannot have it given to us. You can be pre-approved by Spirit all you want, but if you don't accept it, believe it, and act on it, it's for nothing. So what? So what? It's just like those envelopes that I do nothing about. I just throw them away. So many of us are doing that to Spirit's expression as itself through us. We're saying, no, I'm just not ready to receive this. And we throw it away. The law of the universe says we can only receive as much of God's unconditional love and blessings as we are open and receptive to receive. You know, I say this about every other week because I really want you to get this in your mind. This is one of the most difficult teachings of religious science that says if I want to know what you truly believe, all I have to do is look at your life. Because our life is a manifestation, an expression of the things that we believe and are willing to receive and accept. That's a difficult teaching. So if our life has lack and limitation, what do we believe? If there's illness, as difficult as this is to say to you, what do we believe? What I like to say is, what do we believe more in? When people come to me with an illness, I say, do you believe more in health and wholeness and the power of Spirit to reveal perfect health? Do you believe more in that than you do in the illness? Fill in the blank. Often we say we want to believe. Often we tell ourselves we believe. But our life is an outpicturing of that which we have been willing to be receptive to and to believe. You were pre-approved for health and wholeness and joy and magnificent relationships and abundance beyond your wildest belief. You were pre-approved to receive all of the gifts of the kingdom. Are we receiving them? If not, perhaps we're not following the terms and conditions for our life, for living a life of approval, of acceptance, and of joy. The first one, I think, is that we have to realize that God and I are one. Condition number one, God and I are one. That there is no separation between that which is created and the Creator, that we are one. That God is within me, that there is only one Spirit, one life, called by so many different names, followed by so many different paths. But in the ultimate end of all of this, there is no separation. There is no distance between God and me, God and you. Again, if the word God is not a word that you're comfortable with, it's okay. I get that. Call it whatever word you want. God is dog spelled backwards. Doesn't bother me what you call it. The power of life itself expressing the power that is within us, the great creator, Abba, Father, Atman, Brahma, whatever word you want to use for this. To know that God and I are one. Often attributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson, sometimes Oliver Wendell Holmes, sometimes Harry David Thoreau, the statement that says, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. What has happened and what is going to happen are unimportant in this moment. It's what is within us right now. And I'll tell you what's within us. The spirit of the living, loving creator of all life. That's what's within us. That is what is fueling us, supporting us, sustaining us, guiding us, and directing us. So we have to let go of whatever came before. We have to let go of too much worry about the future, although that's a little harder for most of us. We have to sit in the energy of trust, the energy of acceptance, love, and belief. Breathe it in and know that God and I are one to live the life you want. Number one condition. 13th century German philosopher and theologian, mystic Meister Eckhart said this: the seed of God is within us. Given an intelligent and hard-working farmer, it will thrive and grow into God whose seed it is. And accordingly, its fruits will be God nature. The seed of God is within you, and you are the farmer. And when you tend that seed, it will grow into God nature. That's you. That's the ability. He said, pear seeds grow into pear trees. Nut seeds grow into nut trees. A lot of you out there. And God's seeds grow into God. We could ask ourselves, what are we planting? What are we planting here today? What are we planting? What do we believe about ourselves? And I'm not talking about from an ego perspective. We all know that ego, that I'm better than anybody in the world. No. I struggle every week with writing a minister's message because I say, what do I have to say to these people? And then I remember God is doing the work within me. God is doing the work within me. I used to have two Siamese cats, Nong Chai and Lin Biao. Now, not together, but both of these cats. Of course, when I said the word Siamese, that tells you everything you need to know. But here's what I want to tell you about these cats, both of them. Everybody loved my two cats. Everybody loved my cats to death. How could you resist their charm? They were absolutely beautiful, loving, social. And Nong Chai especially, his attitude was one of, how can you not love me? I'm perfect. I am magnificent. He didn't think of himself, I soon realized, as a cat. He thought himself, correctly so, as one of a kind. That was Nong Chai and Lin Biao. We could take a lesson from those two glorious kitties that I missed so much. We are one of a kind. We are glorious. We are perfect. We are magnificent. We are one of a kind, unique, beautiful gems. God seedlings. That's my cat, and that's you. So the first term and condition to living this pre-approved life is to know that you and God are one, and that God is imprinting on you as you, is you, and you are unique in your magnificence. Terms and condition number 2, I think, for living this pre-approved life has to be that you got to know yourself. You've got to know yourself. It's one thing to do all this talking. I'm whole, perfectly complete, just the way I am. What's that song we used to sing? I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. Who wrote that stupid song? We've got everything to change. No, it's a big religious science song, and I do love it, but, the fact is we do. But first we've got to know ourselves. So you might know that the Comptons have sent out on Facebook a request for Monica, their niece, who is looking for a living kidney donor. And she's a 36-year-old mother. She's looking for a living kidney donor. She's got 2 children. She's a magnificent woman. She's been in this church many times when she's been visiting. And so I said to myself, Self, you've got 2 healthy kidneys. You can do this. So I clicked on the link that you're supposed to go to, fill out some forms to see if you're a potential person who should be tested. I'm happy to do this. And I was amazed at the number of questions that you had to complete about yourself. Oh, you had to complete things like Social Security number and height and weight and age and all of those things, but other questions as well. And I was amazed at how easily the answers came to me about these statistics about who I am, how much I weigh, how tall I am, how old I am. I know all of these things. And yet, how easily it came to me to answer those questions. But when it comes to answering the real questions, who am I really? I wonder if I know myself. One day it's something, another day it's something else, and maybe that's okay. But what this is really about is knowing yourself in your magnificence. I once heard Mary Mannon Morrissey say, she's a magnificent minister in our movement, I once heard Mary Mannon Morrissey say, you can never outperform your self-image. You can never outperform your self-image. It isn't the temperature, excuse me, please forgive me, wow. All right, who am I allergic to in this room? Must be my self-image. You can never outperform your self-image. It isn't the temperature of your life. It is the thermostat, she said. Your self-image isn't the temperature of your life. It's the thermostat. It sets the conditions of your life. So your self-image is your thermostat. How is that? How are you doing with that? You can answer the questions very easily to see if you're a kidney match, but can you answer the questions about who am I really? What do I love? What are my passions? What wakes me up in the morning with joy and anger? Where does my attention go for most of my time? You want to know who you are? What are you watching on television? What are you reading? Who are you surrounding yourself with? That will tell you your temperature. That will tell you your thermostat. In The Philosophy of Jesus for the World Today, a book written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, he suggests that we think about an oak tree. He said, suppose every time that tree had the urge to put forth a new branch, it said to itself, I don't think I'm worthy of doing this. I'm not sure if I'm good enough to have another branch. I'm just not certain about the number of branches that I should be growing on myself. Let's suppose that for a second, he writes, that this tree is bemoaning its fate because it really would like to have more branches, but it doesn't think it's worthy to be so lavishly adorned. And every time the tree says, I don't think I deserve any more branches, it blocks off the possibility of drawing its life from the soil. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, if this should happen, then the tree would never make any more branches. It would begin to die from that very moment. But the tree does not do this. All it does is depend on nature. All that it knows is to grow. So it never short-circuits the divine energy that gives it life. It never short-circuits the divine energy that gives it life. But we're people, and we do short-circuit the energy. We do short-circuit divine energy. We do stop the flow that's available. And the ironic part is that we short-circuit when we hold beliefs that we are unworthy, that we don't deserve, that we are incapable, and that we're not enough. That's when we're short-circuiting the divine energy. And spirit, if it could be personalized for a moment, wants to screech at you. You realize that you're talking about me, don't you? That's what God is saying. Every time we deny the divine circuit of life to come through us, every time we short-circuit the abundance, the health, the beauty, the joy, the love that is out there, and I know how to do that if anybody needs any lessons. I'm a queen about it. I'm not enough. What if I do that and I fail? What if somebody laughs at me? What if I sneeze in the middle of a talk at church? If the oak tree were human, it would probably only grow to be about 10 feet tall. It would stop itself if it was a human. And so I pose to you this morning this idea that if we could just accept that the instant that God moved upon itself in an act of love and recreated itself as you and me, if we could just accept the possibility that we are that divine light in expression, just for a second, glimpse it with me. I know it's hard to hold on to for a long time, but if you can for just a second, recognize you're not here by mistake. I remember in the 70s or 80s, I don't know, there was a poster that I saw somewhere, and it was this little kid that I thought looked a lot like me when I was in a bad mood as a child. And it was staring out, supposedly at the viewer of the poster, and it said, "I am too good because God don't make no junk." It's probably not socially correct to say that right now, but God doesn't make any garbage. And you know what? Isn't that the truth? We are pre-approved because God does not make garbage. God does not make anything less than itself. And so think about this. The moment that you were birthed on planet Earth, you were everything that you could possibly be, and then we began to unlearn it. We began to ignore it. We began to cut ourselves off from the divine circuit. I think another term and condition to live the abundant, prosperous, pre-approved life is that we have to start thinking better of ourselves. Isn't that what I'm talking about this morning? We have to start accepting the things that I'm saying. We have to start thinking better about ourselves no matter what someone says, no matter what someone does. We must begin to recognize the truth, the spiritual truth of who we are. You know, in the Christian Bible we read, "You shall not take God's name in vain." And perhaps we should stop taking our own name in vain. Perhaps we should stop talking smack about ourselves. Perhaps we should start believing that we are better than we have up to now believed we were. That's a tough one, isn't it? It's tough to quit saying negative things about ourselves. I'm not enough. I'm too short. I'd weigh too much. I'm too old. I'm all the things that you're saying. I don't have enough this time. I don't have enough money. All the negative things that we say. But what if we could take that giant leap and say something good about ourselves? Something good about ourselves. Okay, right now, you know what I'm going to do. I want you to turn to somebody and say something good about yourself. 5 words. Come on. I am. Come on. I'm talented and creative and beautiful and unique. I am joy. How'd that feel? How did that feel? I absolutely love... Oh, okay. A room full of egoists. I absolutely love this true story. Frank, I hope I'm saying his name right, Zemansky, who was a Notre Dame center in the 1940s, had been called to be a witness in a civil suit in South Bend, Indiana. The judge said, "Are you on the Notre Dame football team this year?" he asked. "Yes, Your Honor," was his reply. "What position?" "Center, Your Honor." "How good a center are you?" Zemansky squirmed in his seat for a moment, but then said firmly, "Sir, I'm the best center Notre Dame has ever had." The coach, Frank Leahy, who was in the courtroom, was surprised because this young man had always been modest and unassuming. And so after the court was over, he walked up to him and he said, "Hey, man, I was surprised to hear you say such a bold statement." Zemansky blushed, and then he said, after hesitating, he said, "You know, I hated to do it, Coach, but after all, I was under oath." I got to ask a serious question. If you were under oath right this minute, and you were asked, what are you the best at in your life, what would you answer? You're under oath. Think about it for a second. Some of you won't be able to come up with anything. Some of you will come up with that I'd like to say. Here's what we do. Oh, I wish I could say it was. I really want to say. No, you're under oath. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks. You're under oath every second of your life. God's oath, Spirit's oath, life's oath. You are under the obligation for authenticity and to speak the truth every moment of your life. You are pre-approved, whether you know it or not, whether you want to accept it or not. You are. And I think the final term and condition that I want to give you today about living this pre-approved, unconditional life. I have a new thing here and I don't know how to use it, people. Between sneezing and fidgeting, it is not a good morning. Here's the thing. The final term and condition I think I'm going to give you is this. You got to dream big. If you've been pre-approved to do anything in your life, why in the heck, if it weren't church, I'd say something else, are you playing so small? If you are truly pre-approved to live the God life that God gave you the instant it recreated itself as you, in you, giving you everything that you need, then why are we playing so small? And I'm not talking about numbers of people and amount of money. Only you know what is big and small in your life. Well, I'll tell you this. I think it's because we kill our hopes and our dreams because we are unwilling to accept that maybe, just possibly, yes, I have been pre-approved to do that. And by all that heaven has given me, I will go forth and do it. Because sometimes it's too much work. Or sometimes we're afraid we'll fail. Or maybe we're afraid that we will find out that dream wasn't ours at all. I don't know about you, but I'd rather find that out now, sooner than later. If the universe could write you a note, here is what I would say, that I think the universe would say. And universe, forgive me, I've written a note on your behalf, but I think it was channeled. The note from the universe said this: the presumption at all times and under all circumstances should always be that you are good enough, worthy enough, and lovable enough. And that you are exactly the right kind of person in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been instilled with such a dream in the first place. Love you, the universe. You are in the right place at the right time, and you are the right person. And even more important than all of that, you have been anointed not just to do what is right for yourself, but you have been pre-approved to create a world for future generations so that they don't have to keep learning this over and over and over. Every single generation has to relearn and relearn and relearn this over and over and over. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am God in expression. I have all that I need. All I have to do is open the stupid envelope. You know the one I'm talking about. The one that says, you are pre-approved. Peace and blessings. Let's just take a moment. Thank you. Let's just take a moment and take a deep breath with me. As I invite all of our practitioners to come forward and just stand here. We have two of our practitioners who are back. Just come into the center. Who are back. Joe Johnson-Hughes is here today from Colorado. And Diana Anderson is here today from California, visiting with us today. Let's just take a moment and just feel the energy of these practitioners. Yes, yes, yes. These are the men and women that pray for you, that support you, that love you, that hold you in the highest watch of all. Donna. So let's just take a deep breath and turn within for a moment of prayer.
So it's in this beautiful space, sacredness, that we recognize that powerful presence of Spirit, that one God, that one mind, the creator of all things seen and unseen. This God is the sun, it's the moon, it's the leaves that are falling, it's the crisp that's in the air. This God is love and peace and wholeness and health.
And knowing this, I absolutely know that I am one with this presence, one with this power, that this divine intelligence is within me. It is the very essence, the very center of my being. And I know this same truth without a doubt, that everyone that hears my voice is the same wonderful, beautiful presence of Spirit here on Mother Earth.
And in this complete knowing of this oneness of life, this oneness reveals itself in, through, and as each of us as the brilliant, infinite, eternal pattern of perfection within each that has never, ever been touched by anything other than divine love, perfect wholeness, brilliant peace and harmony.
And yes, out of this unity with pure spirit, I speak my word about all of those who have requested prayer support for the body temple, that the great physician, the great master, is right here, right now, bringing back into alignment every body temple into the base perfection that has been created from the very start.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I speak my word for all of those who are in difficult situations, relationships. Life is feeling a little out of balance, knowing that all is working towards the divine right action, the divine healing of all that has been perhaps broken at times.
And from this place of oneness, I speak my word now for our entire world, for peace in our world. I affirm that peace is the nature of God, and that this is breaking forth everywhere in the world today, opening hearts.
And so this is the truth.
So, yes.
Come on.
Okay.
Close
So
us
with the deepest gratitude, profound gratitude for knowing the truth of who we are, I release my word into the law right now. I let it go, knowing that it is already done in the mind of God, and it is now done here. And so it is.
And so it is. Amen, 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 Diana. Thank you. Thank you, practitioners. These are the men and women that pray with you, and if you just need prayer after service, thank you, y'all can be seated. If you wish to receive prayer after church, please come to the prayer room, which is at the end of the west hallway, and Donna Sheedy will be praying with you this afternoon. Of course, any of the practitioners, if you walk up to them, are willing to pray with you. I know that for certain. And for those of you who are in the sanctuary, you can fill out this blue prayer request form. and just put it in the offering basket or in the prayer chest that's out in the lobby, and the practitioners will begin praying on these prayers for 30 days or more. And by the way, guys, I love to say this. It's not just prayers for the negative. If something magnificent is going on in your life, you might want to say, hey, thank you, God, keep it coming. And let our practitioners pray for that for you as well. So many people in need of prayer today. If you are visiting, and for those of you who are at home watching us, you can put your prayer right now on the live feed, or you can email to prayers, that's plural, prayers at cslboise.org. Prayers at cslboise.org. And your prayers will be picked up once again this afternoon, and all of our practitioners will be praying with you. Lisa Compton is our other practitioner, but she's in an open house, and I know she is missing us, and she's praying with all of us as well. So prayer, please avail yourself to prayer anytime, day or night. And if you call the church prayer line, which is 208-375-0791, 208-375-0791, yes. There, you can leave a message there as well, and Loretta Knowles picks it up and disperses it to all of our practitioners. So many ways to receive prayer. Call the church, call any of our practitioners. If you are visiting with us for the first time, I love to say you are not a visitor but a new friend. We have some celebrities in the front row, some musicians. Yes, yes, yes. Would you introduce your guests, please? Come on, yeah, come on up, come on up. Oh, I don't want to do this. Fool.
Hi, everyone. I would like to introduce my friends, David Moss and Carrie Witt.
Yes. Woo!
They are just returning from Nashville, a singer-songwriter thing that they attended. They're super excited about sharing some of their music, and we're hoping that they can come join this group up here and play for us sometime.
We hope so too.
Thank you.
Yes, we don't normally introduce our visitors, but you know, these are two amazing musicians, and if you have an opportunity to go and hear them, you will absolutely be thrilled, certainly thrilled by their music. Where are you performing next? They're performing Nashville next. Yeah, baby. Okay, so we'll keep you posted. You know, we'll put you on our musicians list. So see Rex after church, and yeah, we're very excited to welcome all of you. And if you are visiting with us, you can fill out this connection card, and that will put you on our list to receive our e-blast, which is the best way to know about all of the information that's happening in our church. Just to give you a heads up, the first week in November, the accredited classes begin. You'll see that in the e-blast. Also, stay tuned. The first Wednesday in November, we are having our Gratitude Wednesday. We have an exciting program. It's going to be filled with ritual and some knowledge and some amazing things. That's the first Wednesday in November. And then the Sunday before Thanksgiving, we're doing our Thanksgiving feast here at the church. Stay tuned for more information about that. But I want to just put a little bug in your ear about that, because after church, when we're having our Thanksgiving feast together on that Sunday, we're going to have an open mic. And we think it'll be a lot of fun. All of you musicians can come and do it as well. And people in the church who've always said, you know, Rex, I want to sing. Yeah, right? And so we're just going to open it up. And I have a tune. I have a tune, Rex. Yeah, I have a tune. I have a little tune. I have a little tune. And so Rex will work with you. He will perform. He will play for you, or you can play for yourself. So we'll have sign-up sheets for the food and for the entertainment. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, an opportunity for some of us that don't have family around to actually have a Thanksgiving meal with the people that we love the most, our spiritual family. So once again, thank you for being with us. We are so grateful to have you with us. This is our conscious giving time, the time when we give back to Spirit. And Donna, I didn't check the mailbox, but it's okay. We'll pick up. We know that in the mailbox there are lots of checks and so forth. We just want to say thank you for your givingness, for your support of the Center for Spiritual Living and all of the many ministries that we embrace. We thank you for agreeing to participate in the law of circulation, for we know as we give, so shall we receive. We say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life. Thank you, God. Let's just turn within. For those of you who know our little mantra, together we say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is, our man, our woman, our person, our child. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky B.
Listen to me now. You might slip, you might slide, stumble and fall by the roadside, but don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. And that's the truth. See, when you're walking up to heaven, don't let nobody turn you around. Oh, walk with the rich, walk with the poor. You learn from everybody, ain't that what life is for? Don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. I'm talking to you. See, we're walking up to heaven. Good God, don't let nobody turn you around. Rex Miller on those keys, come on. McClurg on that bass. Lay it down. I feel get travel on those drums. Come on. Some say yes, some say no. I'm gonna wait and see which way that wind is gonna blow. Don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. I'm talking to you, that's right. See, we've been walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you around. Now, I might say things that sound strange to you. I might preach me a little gospel, cause I believe it's true. So don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. No, 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 no. See, we'll be walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you around. No, 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 no. See, we'll be walking up to heaven. Good God, don't let nobody turn you around. Yeah. Have a great week. Yeah. Yes. Give them a hand. Woo!
All right, so stand and receive your blessing for the week. So you are to see the light and be the light and share your light with all that you encounter this week. And so it is. Have a great week.